Welcome to my channel on the best of fantasy. This is the week that was. And it has been a not so active week in terms of content on the channel. I only put out one video during the week, and that was a very short video. But I think a pretty important one, at least for me anyway. And it was a writing update. I basically let everybody know what's going on with my own writing, my fantasy trilogy that I've been working on for on and off for about 18 years. And I was very touched, actually, and very humbled and blown away by the responses from all of you guys on that video. I feel so wonderful about being part of this community, and so thankful, and just the encouragement that I got from all you wonderful people. It was just it was very moving, so thank you very much. I deeply appreciate it. I really honestly ran out of things to say in response to everyone, but I meant every single response to every comment that was left on the video, in terms of just people being so kind and congratulating me on getting to this point, and saying that they want to read the books when they come out, and all of that. So I just feel like, wow, you guys are fantastic, and I don't deserve you, frankly, but I'm so happy to be part of all of this. And yeah, I'm very excited about where I am with the writing too. Just a little bit more on that, and then we get on to the other things. I've actually a lot of exciting things, even though not much happened in terms of content on the channel. I was doing stuff elsewhere, and have a lot of really cool things lined up that I'm excited to tell you about. But yeah, just to finish up on the writing front, I did hear back from my agent, and it was a very, very positive message from him. And he agrees that it is time to make a pitch. So we are going forward with that. I have a few things to do to prepare for that. So it's not going to happen tomorrow or the next day, but it is something that's going to happen fairly soon, I think. So I am going to do those things that my agent has asked me to do to get ready for this big thing, at least big for me. So let us see what happens in terms of responses from the prospective publishers. That's where we're going to be pretty soon. So I have some fun things to do to prepare for that, though. So, yeah, I'm very excited, and based on the response to the video, I'm going to keep you guys updated about any major developments that might occur. But thank you guys so much for that response. That was really wonderful. That was just very moving for me, and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And elsewhere, I was on a part of a discussion on A Critical Dragon, A.P. Canavan's wonderful channel, and that discussion included authors Stephen Erickson and Ian C. Esselmont, our Malazan authors. It was a really fun, kind of impromptu, just fun chat, and we talked about all sorts of things Malazan, but we talked a lot about the influence of the gaming. We got some good stories and anecdotes from the two authors on their gaming days, and the influences that went into their books as a result of their gaming together. So it was about an hour-long conversation, just a lot of fun. Those two guys are, in addition to being, brilliant authors, they're also a lot of fun, and just nice people. So I was very honored and privileged to just be part of that conversation, and I have to thank AP for hosting that and making it a lot of fun. So yeah, and speaking of the devil, speaking of the dragon, AP and I will, at some point soon, be doing our Dust of Dreams discussions. So I finished Dust of Dreams last week, and I'm all set to go. AP is busy right now. He has a lot of things going on. Life gets busy sometimes when you have to work, and et cetera, et cetera. So, but we will definitely be getting together at some point, and it is definitely going to be worth the wait. A conversation with Professor Fireballs is always worth it. So I am excited for that whenever it might happen. We're not on a tight schedule or anything like that. So we will have that Dust of Dreams non-spoiler discussion for my channel, and spoiler chats. I'm saying chats probably because once again, I doubt we'll be able to do it all in one video. But yeah, hopefully we'll have some exciting Malazan content in the not too distant future. That is something I'm very looking forward to. I also just recently finished An Autumn War, Book 3 in the Long Price Quartet. I have the omnibus edition here, so I've got volumes 3 and 4 in here of the Long Price Quartet. Daniel Abraham is really, I mean, I was impressed by books 1 and 2. I will just briefly say I'm going to release a review of An Autumn War, a dedicated review, so I won't say a ton here. But I can say that of the first 3 books so far, An Autumn War has been my favorite. And that was a pretty high bar to surpass because I loved the first 2 books. So I was deeply impressed with An Autumn War. Some very moving moments in that in book 3 where I was moved to tears by some of the character interactions, particularly. That is where Daniel Abraham shines. Absolutely. You can tell the guy is very interested in people and in relationships between people because he is so good at writing those things. So I'll have a lot more to say about that in the dedicated review and in the discussion. The review is going to be spoiler-free. I'll keep that spoiler-free so anyone who wants to watch it can. But I will be in a discussion, as usual, with the gang, the Long Price Quartet gang. I'm not sure when that's going to take place. I don't think we've actually nailed down a date yet. Sometimes it's hard to nail down dates when you have 4, 5, 6 people trying to get together. But that will happen. It's going to be hosted by Sarah from Sarah Reads, and it's going to be a lot of fun once we get together. I know that. So I'm really excited for that. This has been a real win for me, the Long Price Quartet so far. Absolutely great stuff. Very happy to be reading this fantasy series. And what else is happening? Well, let's see. I am gearing up as well for my chat with Mike on Beowulf. And I have here my translation, which I'm beginning now, that I finished with An Autumn War. I've read this before. I've read Beowulf many times. But this is just like savoring a fine wine for me. It's Tolkien, it's Beowulf, you cannot go wrong. And I'm really excited for the chat with Mike. I'm going to reread the famous Tolkien essay on Beowulf as well, Beowulf, the Monsters and the Critics. And I think we're going to have a great time chatting about this fantastic Old English poem. And as much as Mike will indulge me, no doubt I'll break out into some Old English. It happens to me spontaneously sometimes, so just a fair warning there. So yes, the Beowulf chat is coming up as well, and we have not quite nailed down a date for that, but I think we're close to it. And what else? Well, I do have a date for this next thing, and it is Dear Dr. Fantasy with my buddy Alan from the Library of Alexandria. So I'm very, very excited for that. That day is set. And in fact, while you are perhaps watching this, I might even be chatting with Alan and recording the discussion. So it's going to be a blast, an absolute blast. Who knows what we're going to talk about? You never know with Alan, but I'm sure it's going to be a great time. And after that, I have Sarah lined up for a Dear Dr. Fantasy episode. So I have episodes 5 and 6 all lined up, ready to go. I have to set a date with Sarah, but I have a rough idea. And I actually have a couple more lined up as well. And I'm in talks with several people already about being on Dear Dr. Fantasy. So this series is really proving to be a lot of fun, and I am having a great time getting to know my fellow booktubers through these chats. It's just fantastic, and I feel like people are enjoying them as well. So I think this is a go. You know, this series seems to be doing pretty well, and I'm delighted with it because I enjoy it very much. These long-form conversations, I think, are conducive to some fun, but also some great conversation and sometimes some really enlightening stuff. So I also forgot to mention, I'm not sure what I'm going to read after Beowulf. It depends on the timing. When perhaps if the Dust of Dreams chats happen sooner rather than later, I will start after Beowulf with The Crippled God. If not, if that takes a little bit longer, then, of course, that's book 10 of the Malazan Book of the Fallen. For all of you who don't know, we'd be finishing up that series. If not, though, if we have to wait a little bit longer for the chats, I'll be reading, perhaps, I really want to finish the Stephen King Dark Tower series, so I think I will take up The Wind Through the Keyhole, book 4.5 in Dark Tower, and I will be reading it after book 4. I finished Wizard and Glass, so this would be the next one, at least in the reading order or whatever. I know it wasn't published in that order, but I'm going to read. It's a nice quick read. I could use a quick read, I think, too. That would be nice. So before I read book 5 of the series, Wolves of the Kala, I am going to read Wind to the Keyhole. So that might be the next thing I pick up. Or I'm thinking it's finally time for me to try out The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. I have been kicking this one down the road for so long, and I am going to finally do it pretty soon. So I think that would be a good thing to pick up while I have a little bit of time, if I have a little bit of time. Malazan is the absolute priority, but I got to make sure that I'm in sync with my excellent friend AP. So like I said, it'll be well worth it. So those are possible reads in the not too distant future. And what else am I doing? Well, I mentioned the chat with Mike for Beowulf, and I'll let you know when I know the date for that. I mentioned the Autumn War chat already. That's going to be on Sarah's channel with all the other friends who are going to be there. That's Nico and Alan and Andrew and Zara. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And something that I haven't mentioned yet, and I'm very excited about. This is kind of a big one. I'm really anticipating this is going to be a great conversation. I'm going to be hosting a conversation in the second week of this month. So in a little over a week from now, we'll be recording this. It is to shine a spotlight on an event that was organized by Benjamin from Literature and Lofi. And this was called February She Wrote. And basically what Benjamin did was he had a bunch of people commit to reading women authors who they wanted to read and to sort of promote women writing in our genre. And it was a really wonderful thing that he did. And so we're going to have a kind of a discussion about that. And I'm just going to be promoting it. Now, I myself did not read books by women authors in February. I was busy reading Malazan and such, but I am going to make this is going to be an important year for me in terms of a couple of my favorite women authors. One being Robin Hobb, whose Realm of the Elderlings I'll be reading with AP eventually once we're done with Malazan. Also, I hope that she's going to become a favorite author of mine, and that is Janny Wirtz. And AP and I, again, are going to be reading her Wars of Shadow and Light series, and possibly also her the thing she co-wrote with Raymond Feist, starting with Daughter of the Empire. So these are authors that I want to really, these are going to be a big deal on my channel this year. So even though I didn't really participate in February She Wrote, those are a couple authors I'm going to be talking about when we get together for sure. And everybody who's participating in this discussion, now that's going to include, of course, Benjamin, who organized the whole thing, again from Literature and Lo-Fi, and also Josefina from Fina Reads, and also Bryce from Shelf Centered, and Ersi from Cersei's Booked. So that's going to be a great group, and I'm going to have a blast talking with them. Some of them I've actually not talked to in a video before, so it's going to be great to meet some new people and talk about some awesome women writers. So I'm really excited about that. Another thing that I'm going to be participating in is a chat with Chaz on his channel, and that is going to be in the end of March, and he's doing a chat series as well. His channel is called Bookish Chaz, and that's a channel that I have talked about before in a shout out video, but also Chaz has been on my channel during a discussion of Stephen King's Dark Tower series. So Chaz and I have read a lot of series in common, and I'm really excited to talk with him on his channel for the first time. So that's going to be a lot of fun, and I'll let you know when that is going to be released as well, of course. And then I have another chat with the same group I was with before, a new Malazan group. This one is hosted by Steve from Steve Talks Books. And it was just a fantastic group of people who I really enjoy talking about the first book in Malazan Book of the Fallen just really learning from their insights. So it was a lot of fun talking about Gardens of the Moon with them, and we're going to be talking Dead House Gates in April. So that's a little ways off, but something to just be aware of. And also a couple things that I can't say a ton about yet, but I want to start promoting as soon as the details are nailed down. Possibly, I'm going to be taking part in a charity live stream, some kind of project that will involve some kind of Jeopardy or something. It's going to be fun. But it'll be something to raise money for a very worthy cause, and I'm very happy that I was approached to be part of this, and I think it's something that will be kind of important, and so I want to definitely do my part to promote it, and I'll be letting you know more about that once the details are nailed down. Another thing that I can't say much about yet because I want to keep it secret myself, I'm going to be doing some special videos. I talked about this in the last episode of Dear Dr. Fantasy. I'm going to be coy here still. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I will tell you that it will involve some fellow booktubers and that these videos will be out in, around, let's see, recording them around March 17, 18, 19 perhaps, and releasing them, I'm not sure when, but shortly after that. So look for something maybe around March 20, 21st, around then. So I think it's going to be fun. Yes, we'll see what happens with that. I'm not exactly sure what form this is going to take, so that's one reason why I can't say a ton about it yet either. But I anticipate good times ahead. That's what's going on here. Lots of stuff coming our way that I think will be very enjoyable and fun. And I'm looking forward to all the reading and all the discussions and all the interactions with all of you. Thank you so much for supporting this channel and for being so wonderful. Until next time.